What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at now. So we're going to, of course, Connecticut here. You know, I have to put my quarters, nickels, and dimes in on this too as well. I find this to be a very horrible situation. Of course, you know, the race issues come into play, things like that. Definitely with the Metcalf situation in Texas. So listen, look, man, we're going to dive off into this. We're going to go here first, and then we're going to go to Fox and see what they have to say. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
So black people, what's up? What happened in Cincinnati? Okay, because the video that we seen is not a good look. Somebody say y'all got a part two. Y'all need to bring that part two out, because guess what? Y'all finna be up under the jail. Y'all finna be up under the jail. I always tell people this. Some stuff you just got to ignore. If somebody didn't touch you, I'm telling you, trouble is easy to get in and hard to get out of. The vice president have made a video, okay, about what happened out there in Cincinnati. I did see, I don't know what happened. The video is just not a good look. The white lady was trying to stop it. Somebody hit that lady. The lady hit the ground, and y'all know red stuff came out of her mouth. Y'all know this TikTok, I gotta be careful with my words. It's not a good look. But somebody say it's another part to it. But I'm looking for it. If y'all see the other part, that they saying that the white people was aggressive first, but I still say that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a bit too much.
I mean, you know, I'm hearing the alleged stories like that too as well, that the white people were aggressive first and things like that. But this is the issue here. This is a whole mob scene. It's not just one or two people duking it out, you know, because they had a disagreement. That's a whole different situation. This is wild right here, to be jumped on or jumping on somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a handful of them and it's a shit ton of you. Like those odds will never be okay. I don't care what the fuck went down. You know what I'm saying? Those odds will never be okay. So we're going to go here next and see what Fox has to say about this situation, people.
Well, I don't know what you do with the people standing around watching, but there are at least 5 suspects charged in connection with the violent Cincinnati brawl that left 2 people seriously injured on Saturday night. The Trump administration is suggesting this should be treated as a hate crime investigation. And while it remains unclear what led to the attack exactly, it is very clear about how violent it got. One of the most disturbing parts of the story is how many people were just standing around watching. Well, clearly not just watching, because we have so much video of it. They were on their phones. One person called 911. Now, here's a warning. Some of what you'll see obviously is disturbing, maybe even graphic. So now let's go to Brian Yenes, who's in the studio to take us through all of this. Brian, this video went viral, and parts of it are really hard to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Very difficult to watch, Harris. The charges against the 5 suspects are sealed, and we don't even know yet how many, if any, have been arrested. Cincinnati's police chief says we can anticipate, though, more charges against more people. Now, look, the video shows a white man being punched and kicked by a group of black people in downtown Cincinnati on Saturday at 3 a.m. The police have not said how or why this started. The police chief says alcohol played a significant role, and they've characterized it as a sudden dispute following a verbal altercation. Now, in the brawl, a woman appearing to try to protect the man is...
Okay, so hold on here. Let's check this out real quick. Sorry, you guys. I got to peep this out because I just peeped it out. So, okay, hold on here.
It as a sudden dispute following a verbal altercation. Now,
okay, so I see a few black people trying to actually help him get up. If y'all paying attention, I see a few black people trying to help him get up. So all the black people out there was just not jumping on this man right here. And I'm not saying that of course there was a shit ton of them that were, but we at least see a few black people did try to help him get up, okay?
Now, in the brawl, a woman appearing to try to protect the man is sucker punched by another man, appearing to be knocked unconscious. Cincinnati's police chief says 100 people watched or were involved, yet only one person called 911.
I think what they should be angry about is nobody called the police. That is unacceptable, to not call the police when you view this. Traffic was horrendous. People saw this. They were fighting in front of traffic. Why didn't somebody call us?
Vice President J.D. Vance spoke about this yesterday while in Ohio.
So you think you know Wicks, but do you really?
So, yeah, this is ridiculous here. And these people...
What I saw is
These people need to be prosecuted. This is wild right here. I don't, listen, look, I don't condone no violence, but when let's say if it was a one-on-one situation, the white guy and a black guy, them two just going at it, that's a whole different scenario. But when you get a small group of white people get jumped on by a large group of black people, this shit just don't look good. I mean, it don't look good either way. If the crowd was white and a few people were black, it don't look good either way it go. This whole scenario is ridiculous, and people need to learn how to control themselves nowadays. I don't know what's going on with people, and it's like Harris Faulkner said, like, what are y'all doing out there? Y'all standing around filming the shit. Only one person ended up calling 911 out of everybody that was out there. Even the people that I pointed out to you, even the people that actually helped the man get up off the ground. So I don't know if they specifically called or not. I can't. Well, yeah, let's just keep going. But yeah, it's crazy that nobody called the police except for one person. All them people out there.
It's a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting. And I hope every single one of those people who engage in violence is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. When you have a grown man who sucker punches a middle-aged woman, that person ought to go to jail for a very long time.
The Trump administration's Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, Harmeet Dillon, suggested hate crime charges could be filed. Quote, our federal hate crime laws apply to all Americans. We at Civil Rights will monitor closely how local authorities handle this attack. Now, Harris, Cincinnati police chief, warned yesterday the social media video does not depict the entire incident. One video, for instance, we've seen shows other people that perhaps were being beaten down as well, not just the one man. And I will also point out that there has been criticism from Republican Senator Bernie Moreno against the mayor, Purval, of Cincinnati for waiting, what he says, 2 days to release a statement. And he says that he had not contacted any of the victims as of yesterday when that statement came out.
Well, look, it doesn't surprise me that we're going to see the proceeds of more video in all of this. We should see a lot. People were standing around with their cell phones taking pictures and videos instead of calling for help. I understood it took 6 minutes for anybody to get there, and there was no ambulance in the area. I mean, that woman on the ground, that's a lot. Brian, thank you.
Of course.
Emily, I know that they will bring in more evidence in all of this, but as you look at this is a crime scene.
Yes. First of all, I would never use words like fight or brawl. I would use words like attack, assault. I would charge this, first of all, with a...
I kind of get her on that because it wasn't a brawl. Everybody out there wasn't fighting. A brawl is everybody fighting. Like, it doesn't matter, no color, everybody fighting. Even the insects on the ground probably fighting. I'm just joking about that. But no, seriously, that's a brawl. So yeah, they actually, jump these people, so it's a whole different scenario. And yes, I hope these people do get locked up because this is crazy.
Attempted murder, because we've seen what one-punch murders can be. This was horrifying. This deserves no place in society. Ohio State has complicit laws. So if you take part in a group beating, then everyone is responsible and on the hook for those that you see on those myriad cameras recording this. So I certainly would charge everyone with the attempted murder. I would charge them with felonious assault. I would charge with them everything under the book. And Harmeet Dillon is absolutely right that if the state doesn't get it right, and I'm not holding my breath, then step in with hate charges at the federal level. This was nauseating to watch. And the amount of tiptoeing around that we have seen from anyone but the vice president and representatives of the federal authorities is so disheartening to boot. So you're telling me it was a fight when you see 100 people, 100 black people beating up 2 white people, and you're not, what if this was 100 white people beating up 2 Asian people? I think it would be pretty clear. There is no place for this in our civilized society. And the fact that Cincinnati downtown in that area was bare and devoid of law enforcement, that is on the shoulders of that police chief, Terry. And there is so much more accountability to be had. That woman was a single mother who was just attending a birthday party. Now she's fighting for her life to the cheers of those 100 plus people. And now we're going to have to pay for their 3 square meals a day, by the way, in prison going on. That's what they're going to get. They're going to enjoy the royal treatment in prison. So no matter how you look at this, there's going to be zero accountability for those monsters.
Well, unless they get a soft on crime policy deal. I mean, that's what where is the justice? Can it be meted out the way Emily said? And if the feds get involved, I totally get that. Pierce.
Yeah, sickening on so many levels. We don't know the whole story. But what we do know is the police chief went out, and I saw an extraordinary press coverage she gave where she tried to be blaming social media. That was the real problem. The problem wasn't this violent brawl in which so many people rounded on this guy. I don't really care how it started. Whatever it started, it ended with a horrific act of mob violence.
And that's definitely the truth, you know, and blaming the internet and stuff like that. Listen, look, man, in my eyes, I think all of it has a little bit to do, a little bit to play in the situation, internet, and also people just not being decent human beings anymore. People not actually, you know, wanting the best for each other on this planet. Because for them people to sit there en masse like that, nobody called the cops. Only one person ended up calling because they could tell how many people called to report this incident down at the call center. You know, when you call for help, they could tell how many people call per area or whatever situation is going down. Excuse me. So for only one person to call, bruh, and this whole gang of people were just jumping on these folks, man. Like Piers Morgan said, I don't care how it really started, you know, but it ended with the pretty much the whole block jumping on these few people. That's wrong. That makes no sense. That's not even a fair fight. That makes no sense, bro. It is sad to me that we are in America and we've come to this point right here to where people are losing their minds like this. They have no humanity. They have no sense of urgency when danger's around, and you need to call for backup or law enforcement and stuff like that, and they're willing to let people perish because they're so busy trying to capture shit for the fucking internet. This is crazy. This is crazy. But it's sad and highly disrespectful, man. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Man, love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.